I know everybody wants to go home, but I just want to say a few comments of, there's no surprise here that I'm going to be voting no against this bill. I've served on transportation for the last 5 years now, and I've already expressed to Senator Newman my disappointment with this particular bill, from the diversions from our general fund and other areas of our state budget to transportation with no real new investments in transportation. So I don't believe we're meeting the needs of our districts. I don't believe we're meeting the needs of Minnesotans. I don't believe we're meeting the needs of our businesses and those who rely on metro mobility and transportation, public transportation and transit to get to their appointments, for their doctor's appointments, and to get to their place of work and play. So one thing I do note in the bill, and I mentioned in committee as well, we talk about taking care of our rural communities and we talk about our small cities, but this bill only allocates $10 million to that purpose. I did have an amendment that I decided not to move forward with it, but $10 million, members, is maybe not even a mile of paved road. So that seems to be highly deficient to what the needs are and the reality of the needs. And frankly, there are over 700 small cities, and $10 million might sound exciting, but if you think $14,000 is going to go a long ways for each of those cities, you really don't understand the mathematics when it comes to funding transportation. So I'm disappointed with that. We just passed a few hours ago a reinsurance bill where we spend upwards of $600 million for 2 years, and we say we have money in the system for all these things that we need, and they're not wants, they're actually needs for our state investments, and we decided to throw money out to the private sector versus really funding our public roads and bridges and our transit system. So the priorities, I don't think, are aligned with the needs of our state. And in regards to the money that we just voted to move forward with reinsurance, and on top of that, earlier in the session, we spent another $300 million on a 25%, rate reduction or help for those in the individual market, which I actually voted for. But these are short-term fixes. We need long-term fixes, long-term investments in transportation, roads and bridges and transit, and this bill falls short. Like I mentioned in committee, I am pretty tired of studies, and I know there's even studies in this bill about tolling. I don't think we're going to go that route, so I don't know if that's the best use of our time. All these studies that we have in the bill, we asked the department to actually spend the time on these studies instead of prioritizing our projects across our state. So I'm not aligned with the priorities of this bill. I'm really not surprised we have no new funding, but to call this new money is really falls in the face of common sense for Minnesotans who know that this is really money that we're taking away from other parts of the budget. And I sat in Health and Human Services for 4 years, and there are real needs there, and they're continuing to grow because our population is growing. We have 60,000 Minnesotans turning 65 every year. That's the reality. That's not an illusion. So I ask members for your no vote on this bill. It's not looking forward to the best interests of our state. It actually takes us backwards. So please join me in voting no, and let's take this matter seriously, and hopefully we can make some real progress in the future of Minnesotans and in the future of our investments in our infrastructure. Thank you.